Hello, welcome to Jason the Millennial. My name is Jason, speaking to you here in my basement in the great state of Kansas. And what a great day it is in the state of Kansas as my Kansas City Chiefs going back to the Super Bowl, fourth time in 5 years, which is absolutely insane. Never thought I'd see this day. I mean, when we first got to Super Bowl in 2020, it was like, that was a life-changing moment where it was I'm 40 years old, and for 20 some years of my life, I thought I was never going to see the Chiefs get to the Super Bowl. It felt like it was never going to happen. In fact, we never win a playoff game. We went 20 years, didn't win one playoff game. And then 2020, let's go back to 2019. We get to the AFC Championship, don't get the Super Bowl. Next year, get the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl, get San Francisco 49ers. Next year, go Super Bowl, lose it to the Buccaneers. Go to the AFC Championship next year. And then last year, go back, win the Super Bowl for a second time in my life. And now we're back to Super Bowl. Fourth time in my life, I've got to see the Chiefs get to the Super Bowl. And I just can't believe it. It's like, it's been just a dream come true. And kind of unexpected. I didn't expect us to get to the Super Bowl this year. It's been kind of a rough year for the Chiefs, to be honest. But we did good enough, made the playoffs, and then we've been playing our best football in the playoffs. And my condolences to Ryan, who's a friend of mine, who's a Ravens fan, and I hate that, my friend has to see their team lose. But, again, I love seeing my team win, so that just happens to be. Same thing happened when the Eagles won. I had a friend who was an Eagles fan. I hate seeing that, but, Ravens, great season. Should have been in the Super Bowl, but unfortunately you play the game and that happens, and it was a great defensive game on both sides. And anyways, I'm going on about the Chiefs. This video is not about the Chiefs, but I just had to talk about the Chiefs to begin the video because I'm just super excited about the Chiefs getting the Super Bowl. Anyways, what we're really here for is to talk about Rush, as I did a deep dive recently, and now I'm going to do my top 10 favorite Rush songs. So after I do a deep dive, I like to do a top 10. And so here is my top 10 favorite Rush songs. Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well here on, I guess, a Sunday night. It's almost Monday. It's almost midnight here. It's pretty late. I usually don't do these so late, but I've been so amped up. Been pretty busy today with football and church and all that. I really wanted to get this out, though. I've been wanting to get this out for a couple days now. Haven't gotten around to it. But yeah, talking about my top 10 favorite songs from Rush. And let me say, these are 10 absolutely amazing songs. This is top tier songs of all time. And I'm going to be repeating myself because I'm going to say great guitar playing, great bass playing, great drums, and great singing. I mean, all these songs have that. Anyways, and Rush is up there to me with, The Who, Led Zeppelin is one of the best instrumental bands of all time. Across the board, the instruments, they're just masters at those instruments and play some of the best stuff I've ever heard. Anyway, so let's get to number 10 on my list. Number 10 is a song called Bastille Day, which comes off of their Caress of Steel album. This is my favorite. This is one of the earlier albums. I want to say in the first 5 albums. And this is one of their best rock songs. It is an amazing rock song. And I put it at number 10, and it's already man, this is so good. And it's the 10th song. It's probably one of the harder rock songs on my list, to be honest. It starts off with one of the greatest guitar riffs that I think I heard out of Rush. But it gets like banana and then the drums come in. Anyways, like it's like the perfect like intro to a rock song where you're like, man, that's how you start a rock song. But even Geddy Lee is just killing on the vocals. I mean, he's screaming kind of his vocals almost. I mean, he's just really going out on like some of the best rock vocals I think he's done with Rush. Anyways, but yeah, overall, and great, of course, great guitar solo in there. I mean, yeah, this is a great rock song. Bastille Day at number 10. Number 9, this is Closer to the Heart, which was a hit song off of A Farewell to Kings, another kind of somewhat earlier album for them. I think this is my top song from that album. Very early, I think, hit for them. And again, it's very catchy. It's not as hard rock as some of the other songs, but it's definitely one of their catchier tunes. You know, it's like something from the start, you're closer to the heart. You know, it's kind of like that. It's just super catchy. That's why it was a hit song. Anyways, and so, yeah, still though, the guitar playing, drumming, everything's just fantastic on here. Still, you just hear all that. And I think if I remember right, there's a really good guitar solo in there as well, as there usually is on these songs. But yeah, it's a hit song, and it's definitely very catchy, and it's one one of my favorites. So at number 9, Closer to the Heart. Number 8, we have Fly By Night, which is the titled song off of their second album, Fly By Night, which is my favorite album actually. And not because it has the best hits, maybe, because it has some of the best, I think, hidden gems on it. But still, this is kind of their big hit off the album. One of their earliest hits. I mean, I even probably say it's probably the first really big hit, I would think, out of Rush, since it came out second album, first album with Neil Peart and everything. This is another one where the chorus is so good when the fly by night, bum 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 bum, bum bum bum. I mean, it's a really great melody, very fun to listen to, and again, just absolutely fantastic all the way around as far as instruments go. Yeah, again, kind of like the last one, it's just one of those hit songs that just have a great melody to it and great rock vocals to it. So yeah, I have Fly By Night here at number 8. I would say most of these songs are hit songs. Like I only have like maybe one hidden gem on here. I feel like most of them are fairly well known, which I usually pick sometimes the fairly well known stuff because they're known for a reason, because they're great. And so I don't mind putting a well known song in my top 10s. The next song though is probably my only song that's not really a big hit, and more of a hidden gem song, and it's actually my favorite song off of Fly By Night. This is called Rivendell, and it's very unusual because it's not a rock song. It's like the only non-rock song on my whole album, or my whole list. It's really more of a ballad, which Rush never does ballads. Like I've listened to all their albums. They're mostly a pretty hard rock to sometimes a little softer rock at times. They're prog rock, you know, and they throw in other stuff in there, but this is the only one where it's like really kind of a nice, pretty song. It's acoustic guitar, and I love the acoustic guitar picking. It's some really good acoustic guitar picking, and Geddy Lee, I think, is really good vocals here. It's very soft vocals, not as usual, very loud, high-pitched vocals, but a little more gentler, and I do like that sometimes when even the big rock singers will sing a ballad, and you hear them like do something different with their voice, and you go, wow, that's a really nice sound. Anyway, so yeah, it's one of the few it's the only non-rock song pretty much on my list. It's the softest song on here, but I think it's absolutely beautiful song. And of course, Rivendell is a place in Lord of the Rings, so you know, yeah, I love those Lord of the Rings references when you hear them. Which Rush does them, Led Zeppelin does them. So you always like hearing that. But yeah, definitely check this one out if you haven't heard it. Really beautiful song, Rivendell. At number 6, pretty big hit for them. And this is called Subdivisions, which comes off their Signals album, which is right after Moving Pictures. So it's right in that period where their albums are doing very well, and they're more commercial sounding. Their songs are more radio friendly. And this is, definitely one of the big ones in this time period. It's my favorite off this album. And I love about it is that synth keyboard this is the best use of it, probably. I mean, there's some other really good uses of it, I should say, but I just love that. Bum, 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 bum. Throughout the song, it's simple. It's like two chords, but it sounds great throughout the song and really makes the song, really ties it together. It's a great song. And then you have the drums and the guitar behind it, and it just sounds so great together. And it has a nice little chorus there. And then you got the guitar is not. It's not a great. There's not like really good guitar riff here, but then you'll hear a good guitar solo there towards the end. Where you're like, oh, there's the guitar solo. So you still get that good guitar solo in there, but yeah, just that synth keyboard thing. It's just it sounds so great. And just the intro, right when you hear the intro, you're like, oh my gosh, this is a great intro. There's a lot of great intros here, but yeah, absolutely loved it. Subdivisions is number 6, and that's a great song. And that's number 6. Like the top 6 songs, I almost feel like either one of them could be number 1. Like when I went through my list, I was like, wow, I love this song. This could be number 1. Now I hear another one, I'm like, oh man, but that could be number 1. And so I definitely can see myself changing these songs around because this top 6 is just absolutely phenomenal. But number 5, I have a song called Freewill, which is comes off the Permanent Waves album, which was right before Moving Pictures. It's kind of the first, I don't know if I should say first, but first to me, really big commercial friendly album. And for a good reason, has 2 really good songs on it, 2 huge hits. And this is one of them, Freewill. And this has just got, man, the guitar intro is so good. As one of the best guitar intros to it. And overall, a great guitar kind of riff to it. That I absolutely love throughout it. I think that's the right song. But yeah, the guitar playing is just absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, and then you get the chorus and Geddy Lee's voice is absolutely phenomenal. He's got that high pitch, unique voice that he's really pushing out there. And I just love that chorus. You still have got a choice. A bump, a bump, a bump, a bump. I will choose free will. Bump, a bump, 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 bump. I mean, the way he ends that chorus with the free will and then goes right into that guitar riff. Oh, it's so good. Just perfectly ties it together. And then there's another just absolutely phenomenal, one of the best guitar solos I think I've ever heard in there as well by Lyson, which I'll say that again in some of these other songs I have left. But Freewill, so good. Great melody. Like I said, guitar, drums, everything is phenomenal. Geddy Lee's voice is so good. It's number 5, and yet it's like, it could be number 1 here. But yeah, number 5, Freewill. Number 4 is a little more softer. It's more popish than it is rock. And I think that's why I love it so much. And it's called Time Stand Still, which comes off of Hold Your Fire, which is actually one of my favorite albums. It's like a top 5 album for me for Rush. And I don't know, I want to say it's underrated, but I don't know, that's me. It's their last like really good album in the 80s, and then everything kind of goes downhill. But this is my favorite song off of there, and I love Time Stand Still. Like I said, it has more of a popish sound to me, I think. It's not real hard rock, but yet the instruments still sound really good and everything. But I love when you get to that chorus and there's a female voice in there, which I like that we got the female voice. It goes, time stand still. I look around and a bump, a bump, a bump, 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 bump. Bump, a bump, a bump, a bump. Like, it sounds so great. The woman singing Time Stand Still and then Geddy Lee coming in on his part. Absolutely love the chorus on here. One of my favorite in there, and very catchy overall. And then he goes, time stand still. And then he gets into the second verse. First verse, kind of soft. Second verse, he kind of crescendos. And I love his voice. And the second, and then even the third verse, I believe, he like crescendos his voice at the beginning. And it's like, oh wow, like this is some really great Geddy Lee vocals where I was like, wow, I love his vocal work on this song. Like I said, it's a little softer compared to some of the other ones, but still sounds really good. It's a little more popish, so I like that. It's a little more catchier in that case, but yeah, absolutely phenomenal. Time Stand Still at number 4. Number 3, we got definitely one of the biggest songs. These top 3 they're I have to admit, these are your usual top three. I didn't go crazy with this top three. This is their best well-known songs and the songs that I knew the most, songs I grew up listening to on the radio. And when I hear them, I still go, oh man, I remember first time hearing that song on the radio and just being like, wow, this is great. And so number three is Tom Sawyer off of Moving Pictures. Actually, my second favorite song of Moving Pictures. I have one more even better than that one. But yeah, I love that beginning. It starts with the drums and everything. And great guitar riff at the beginning. And then, yeah, Geddy Lee, absolutely amazing throughout this song. And very catchy. Like I said, it's big radio hit for a reason. Drumming is so good. I have to say, I mean, everything's good, but it's some of the best drumming I feel like I've ever heard on an album. I mean, on a song. And like I said, it's hard to say one person's the best because they're all good, but I would say Neil Peart's really the highlight of this song. And I feel like the whole Moving Pictures album, Neil Peart to me is like the highlight of the whole album. And again, everybody's great, but Neil Peart is just kind of puts himself there where it's like, wow, this is Keith Moon, John Bonham, good. This is like top three, maybe best drummer I've ever heard anyways. And definitely I hear it on this song, Tom Sawyer, which we probably haven't heard that. Absolutely fantastic song. I said fanatic, fantastic song. All right, so we get to my top two favorite songs from Rush. And number two is another song from Moving Pictures, my favorite song, and that is Limelight, which is the other really big hit off that album. This one, I guess I like it because it's a little more catchier maybe than Tom Sawyer. And again, love the drumming. Drumming is phenomenal. I think it also has a pretty good intro to it. I think this one was like bum 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 doo-doo, and then you hear those drums come in. I love that bum 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 doo-doo. Like it sinks in so well. And then you get into the song and great Geddy Lee vocals. I love when he finishes a verse and the drumming's going. It's phenomenal. And then he'll stop and go bum bum, and then he'll sing the rest of the verse, and then it goes right into the guitar or whatever. Like it's a great guitar riff, and so I just love how the drums stop, the vocals stop, and then we get right into the guitar riff. Like the way they sync it together is why I love the song so much. I think why it's number two on my list, because every time I hear that, I go, oh, that's so great. Like I love the syncing of those three together there, and again, just phenomenal guitar playing and guitar solo in there. As if I didn't say it before, I'll say it again. Great guitar solo, some of the best. I mean, even when he's not, I mean, he's very fast sometimes. He can do some fast licks, and then sometimes the guitar just sounds. It can be slow, but yet he does some cool tones with it, and yeah, again, absolutely phenomenal. I said that so many times. But number two, Limelight. So number one, you know what number one is. It's number one for everybody. And when I put it together, I was like, should I put this number one? This is so, cliche. It's so, it's easy. It's the easy one to put number one, but I could not, I had to put number one, and that is Spirit of the Radio, which comes off the Permanent Waves album that had Freewill on it. And this is my favorite Rush song, favorite off the album. It's really their biggest hit that I think they've ever had. If I remember right, they had some hits with like Fly By Night, Closer to the Heart, Subdivisions came after this, but yeah, so they had some stuff there. But then when Spirit of the Radio came on, I feel like that made Rush from like a good band to a great band, where it's like people noticed Rush after that. If Rush had some fans, when Spirit of the Radio came on, when that song hit the radio, everybody became a Rush fan that heard that song. And it's definitely one of those early songs I heard, one of the first Rush songs I ever heard on the radio as a kid. And just remember hearing it go, how are they playing this song? And watching them play it is fun too. Of course, it starts with that really, I mean, one of the fastest guitar licks I've ever seen, where it's like, and you watch Lifeson do it live, and it's like, how does he do that and not make a mistake? He's like, his finger just going so fast, and it's great. The intro is great because it's a long intro. It's like over 30 seconds intro, and it's like Bob O'Reilly or some of those songs that have this huge intro. Sometimes I don't like a good a long intro, but if it's this good, I'm all on board for the intro. But it has that intro, but then it goes into a different intro that then goes right into the song. So it's almost like two intros, and then the song starts, and it's like already like, oh my, the song's good. And I would say Lifeson's guitar playing is the highlight of the song. Again, everybody's great, the bass playing, drumming, but I definitely really concentrate on the guitar when I hear the song. And again, it has an amazing guitar solo towards the end as well. And yeah, it's a catchy song, and that's why it's a big hit. And just some of the best instrument playing I think I've ever heard in a song. That's why I had to put number one, because I just love listening to guitar on here with the drums and everything. It's just, everything just works so well together in the song. And it even has it changes up a little bit. It has a great guitar riff, and then it kind of slows down to this part of the dun 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 dun, and then that it goes in, and you're like, holy cow! Like, so it changes a little bit during the song. Like, there's a couple different melody and time changes in there. And in fact, I think what puts us over the top is like they kind of go into this routine, and then all of a sudden they go into this reggae section. Towards the end, all of a sudden it's like slows down. And it's like doing a little reggae, and you're like, what is this? Like, I didn't expect this to come out of nowhere. And then all of a sudden you're hearing the kind of little reggae, and also goes right in back into the main, and all of a sudden the guitar comes back in, and you're like, oh, all right, we're back in the main riff of the song. And yeah, I had to put number one. It's so fun to listen to, and instruments are just some of the best I've ever heard. So number one, Spirit of the Radio, the common one, the one everybody puts number one probably, and I'm no different. I just love a good song, and that's a good song. Anyway, so that's my top 10 favorite Rush songs. The true Rush song, the true Rush aficionados, people who love Rush, are probably like, oh, but how about these other, hidden gem songs? I know I didn't have a lot of hidden gems here. These were big hits, and I guess, I don't know if Bastille Day was a big hit. That might have been a hidden gem, but most of these I know are hit songs. But I guess for me, it's like the songs I'm more familiar with, I'm probably going to put up higher on my list than the ones I'm not as familiar with. But there's other good stuff. Like in my honorable mentions, I have Trees, Middletown Dreams, Lessons, and Red Bruschetta are some of the honorable mentions I have. Considered for this top 10. But yeah. But to me, if it's on the radio, it's a big hit. It's good reason. It's a good song. Normally it's a good song. Anyway, so yeah. So I'm one of those people. I put the big hits on my list. And Rush is absolutely fantastic, I think. I've gone through a deep dive. But anyways, yes, please feel free to comment. What do you think about the top 10? What are some songs you put on your top 10 that I missed? Love to read any comments. Hopefully I do Rush fans justice with the list and explain why I think it's really good, and so many good songs, and why they're a really good band. Anyway, so yeah, so please, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for getting through my rant about the Chiefs. I had to talk about the Chiefs. I know it's one of those things. Again, if you're not a Chiefs fan, sorry, but it's one of those things though. But yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for liking it, and thank you to all my subscribers for supporting the channel. I appreciate all of you, and I hope you have a good day.